What up, everybody? So I wasn't originally planning to do a video on Lil Nas X's Industry a Baby, just like I didn't do a video on his Call Me By Your Name, because I just felt like these are videos, this is music dedicated to sort of like a reclaiming of identity and oneself, and also a celebration of oneself, specifically gay black maleness. And it already felt like there's too many straight people talking about this. There's too many straight people giving their opinions. And it just felt like, why do I need to give my opinion just to be another piled on voice? The only reason why I'm doing this video right here is because Tariq Nasheed actually commented on it a few days ago, Industry Baby. Actually, him and Lil Nas X, I follow both of them, and they got into a little spat on Twitter over his video. If you don't know who Tariq Nasheed is sort of like, he's a very like pro-black voice, and he has produced some like notable works. I think he's done some good works like Hidden Colors. If you've ever seen his documentaries, Hidden Colors, they're actually pretty good. There are, just pretty much documentations of black history. And so he's done some really good work. It's like a documentary style thing, and it's just sort of teaching black people about black history all around the world. He also has some very interesting and eclectic and eccentric, I put it in that way. He has some very eccentric ideas. I sort of call him like he's like the black Bill O'Reilly to me. If you know who Bill O'Reilly is or was, before he got fired from Fox. They're kind of like, they have the same, even though like Bill O'Reilly clearly is not like pro-black or nothing like that. But they have the same type of temperament. Tariq gives very interesting social commentary all the time about stuff going on with black people. Sometimes I agree, a lot of times I don't. And Tariq Nasheed sort of was very hyper focused in on the fact that Jack Harlow was in the video. That was his pretty much main, that's what I got from the tweets. I'm actually going to put some of those tweets here in the video as well. He got very hyper focused on the fact that he did not like Jack Harlow being in the video. Now, I did not like Jack Harlow being in the video, but not for the same reasons that Tariq Nasheed didn't like Jack Harlow being in the video. Tariq didn't like Jack Harlow being in the video because he felt like it was about a part of some type of conspiracy by white executives in the music industry to sort of, feminize and emasculate black men, while at the same time raising their own profile and elevating white men as being the epitome of everything masculine, and masculinity. And I just don't see it that way. I didn't get that from the video. Personally, I felt like what Lil Nas X was trying to say throughout the video, he was really doing this very interesting thing in this video where he was playing with the duality of femininity and masculinity, sort of saying like, and displaying, I'm both. I'm not either or. I can't be one or the other of these things that people want me to be. I'm both and. Played the masculinity, like he was sort of like tatted up, kind of looking like he was in the jail cell, kind of looking a little thuggish. He had his abs out, kind of cut up a little bit, the tattoos on him, and sort of posted up. But then also like he had on the pink, which is of course a very feminine color. They were posted up in the yard, and they were like doing like bench presses and lifting weights and punching bags and stuff like that, looking tough. But then also at the same time, they would break out into these dance sequences where they would be pretty much shaking it in the shower and stuff like that. Like they were in like a Janet Jackson or Beyonce video, doing these very hyper feminine, like pop singer type dance sequences type of thing. And also I think there's at one point where he's talking about like, I think the line is, I don't fuck bitches, I'm queer, and then he drops the weight and then he flicks out his wrist, because I guess the flick of the wrist or the limpness of the wrist has always been stereotypical of, whether, I guess stereotypical in terms of telling if you can tell somebody is gay or not. Which is just a stereotype. If you've seen those like SpongeBob memes and stuff like that. I think he also says something like, these niggas bitches like Medea or something like that. Again, sort of commenting on like this duality, because of course Medea, played by Tyler Perry, who is a man, but who is playing a woman. This sort of identity where it's both and. I'm made up of both of these energies, feminine and masculine energies. And so I didn't feel like he was trying to, in the video, raise one over the other at all. I think he was trying to sort of show I'm both of these things equally. And in terms of like the Jack Harlow situation, in terms of like, oh, white execs were in the room plotting to like raise Jack Harlow up to be the epitome of like masculinity. I just don't see Jack Harlow in that way. Maybe it's just me. Maybe Tariq Nasheed sees Jack Harlow as this very hyper masculine dude. To me, he's just like a little scrawny white boy. Like no offense or anything, but I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything. But to me, he's just a little scrawny white boy. He didn't look tougher than any of those gay black men in that jail cell. They all look bigger than him, look more cut than him. They look tougher than him. If you were to, let's say, like if Jack Harlow was to challenge any of those men to a fight, I'm putting my money on the gay black man. I'm not putting my money on Jack Harlow winning a fight with any of those black men in that jail cell. I'm sorry, Jack Harlow just doesn't scream hyper masculine to me. Especially even in the room with a bunch of gay black men, he just didn't scream hyper masculine and super tough and super like the epitome of masculinity to me. I guess that's where I feel like a little bit of Tariq's homophobic bias comes out, because I think that the assumption is that because a man is gay, that then makes him weaker or not masculine. And that's just not true. But in terms of not liking, I mentioned that I didn't like Jack Harlow being in the video either, but for different reasons than what Tariq Nasheed said he didn't like about Jack Harlow being in the video. I did not like Jack Harlow being in the video because I felt like Jack Harlow was representative of this sort of white savior trope that I think Lil Nas X unintentionally created. You remember in the video, Jack Harlow comes by, he's on his like little shift, because sometimes they have jobs in the jail, and he's coming through passing people stuff, probably their supplies or their mail or something like that, or like maybe some food or something like that. And then he passes Lil Nas X a book. It's like I think it's called the Book of Montero. And then he opens it up and it's like a pickaxe or something in there so he can dig his way out and dig a tunnel through the jail, which I'm assuming we're supposed to be over a couple of months. Like I'm assuming the way they shot it and the fact that we switch frames a little bit, I think that is supposed to be like over a couple, after he gets the pickaxe, he's been doing it for a couple of months, and that's how he created the hole to like crawl through and escape. So like Jack Harlow gives Lil Nas X and the other black men and the other gay black men in the jail the tools to escape. And I just found that to be, Lil Nas X is playing with these gendered and race politics in this video, right? But like, in real life, in reality, who's putting black men in jail? The white men. Straight white men are putting black men in jail. They're not invested in getting you out of jail. Like I just found that whole white savior trope to be utterly like, it just really irked my spirit when I saw it. I was just like, what is happening here? Like, so this straight white man is gonna give gay black men the tools to, essentially unshackle themselves. He's gonna give them the tools to freedom, when white men historically, and like, they lock black men up, and they're definitely not about to help gay black men. Maybe he wanted to make him feel comfortable or whatever. I actually preferred the scene where he was getting electrocuted. Like, that's what he can do. Like, Jack Harlow can get electrocuted, sit in an electric chair, get electroshocked. I think that Lil Nas X thought deeply about what those implications were when he did that. I think he just did it because he's like, oh, me and Jack Harlow are cool. I want to give him something cool to do. I feel like he's an ally, so I'm gonna give him the tools to break us free. But like, why don't you just have yourself break your own self free? This is supposed to be a celebration of black gay maleness, but you have a white man as the reason why you could be gaining your freedom. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not really interested in art that makes white people a focal point or a center point in any of our stories. I'm just not interested in that. And that's just felt what it felt like was being done with Jack Harlow, that he was being made a focal point and center point of a story that really he shouldn't be in, but none of us should really be in. I shouldn't even be talking about it. I mean, nobody should be talking about it. It should just be a celebration of black gay maleness. That's who should be in this video. Now, in terms of conspiracy theories, I do feel like there has been a push by music execs to get Jack Harlow more, I guess, aligned or acclimated in the urban market. We already talked about this with my Doja Cat video, the nigga market, the nigga lane, more associated with the blacks, the Negroes. I feel like there has been like a push. Like I've been seeing Jack Harlow everywhere, and I'm just like, who is this white kid? Hey, he might be a nice enough kid, but there seems to be like a concerted effort to push him into an urban lane to get him a like true hip hop fan base, which he clearly does not have because he's been jumping from person to person every time I see him. I just don't think that he's that great of a rapper to be being pushed like this. I think that his flow carries him a lot. Like, I think that he has a really nice delivery and a really nice flow. And I also think he has a really nice tone. His tone actually reminds me a lot of Mac Miller. Like, him and Mac Miller have very similar tones, but I think Mac Miller is like 10 times a lot more talented than Jack Harlow and wittier. Like, I just don't think that Jack Harlow is a witty rapper. Like, the hardest bar on his bar in Industry Baby to me was like My Time's Coming Soon, just like Oklahoma, but I'm Coming Sooner or something like that, like Oklahoma Sooners. Like, that was like probably the wittiest bar he had up there, and it was like, okay, because they know that white people doing black shit means lots of dollars, because people flock. And that kind of really also annoys me as well. That whole thing annoys me to no end, especially when black artists go along with it and they use their platforms to like give to these white people. And black people do this all the time. Black artists are always doing this all the time. I don't know if it's like in your contracts that you have to do this for other white artists. But it's getting annoying at this point. Like, I'm tired of seeing like this. It never happens in the opposite. I've never seen a white artist want to take a black artist and lift them up. I've never seen that. But I always see, for some reason, black artists take white artists or align themselves with white artists and then give them their platform to bolster their careers. And it's just so annoying. It is so annoying. It feels very like on Black Twitter, there's this whole thing about like joining cookouts and stuff like that. Oh, you're inviting white people to the cookout who don't deserve to be at the cookout because they haven't done anything. I hate that whole cookout thing. It really irks my nerves, inviting white people to an imaginary cookout which is supposed to be representative of black culture, like just giving it away, just here you go. That's what this felt like to me. Like, why is Jack Harlow on this video? Why is Jack Harlow on this song? What does Jack Harlow do for this song, for real? Like, Lil Nas X gets nothing out of Jack Harlow being on this video. Like, on this song, what does Lil Nas X get out of that? Out of him being on this song, he doesn't get anything out of him being on this song. Jack Harlow gets everything out of being on your song, though. Like, he's using you for clout. He's using you to make himself bigger and to put his name out there. And that's what I think the people behind him wanted all along. And I'm guessing they made a call to you to get him on the song, because I just don't think that you thought, man, I'll need Jack Harlow on this song. Like, come on now. Did we really think that Lil Nas X was like, let me get, you know how I need on this song? Jack Harlow. No, I don't believe that. And if you believe that, you're stupid. Speaking of all of that, I'm really interested in terms of Lil Nas X's music, Lil Nas X's art. I know he's in a phase right now where he is constantly commenting or responding back to people who have something to say about his sexual identity. and he's really invested into like trolling back and making fun of the ideas of what people think of him, and then flipping that on his head, and then like claiming ownership over that and saying, I'm not offended and I'm not afraid. And I think that that is really powerful for this moment. And I think this is also a great sort of era for him. I am interested though in a Little Nas X, in his music or in his art, where he eventually doesn't feel the need to respond anymore. He doesn't feel the need to troll people anymore. He feels no need to like defend his self or his identity anymore, where he is just unapologetically himself and he speaks from his own experiences. I'm interested in that Lil Nas X and that next, hopefully that is the next era. But I am enjoying this era of trolling and, you know, flipping the ideas that people have of you on his head and like making fun of it and also claiming ownership over it. I think the dude is hilarious. All of his videos have been hilarious. The Call Me By Your Name video where he slid down the pole like he was in Mario Brothers collecting coins. I mean, some of these scenes he's trying to be funny. Like he's clearly like making fun of us who we think we're making fun of him, but then he's making fun of us making fun of him, like and he's also owning it at the same time. Yeah, this will be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time for the next topic.